For the first section of the raid, we have a gauntlet. 4 orbs from the start must be carried by all 20 members alive to the opposite side. Alive! Engineer revives and skills are prohibited. Only the raid revives and diamonds work in this gauntlet. Now, the meteors on the floor when they land still hurt, so only when the animation disappearing are you able to still continue. If you walk over into the fire as it disappears, you will still drop your orb and everyone inside will perish. Now, to progress, you must make it all the way to the top, and as you can see on the right, I have put the mini-map, the route I took, and as you can see, the edges seem to be the safest spot for the first timers. Speed gear does help. Now, if someone does drop the orb, you do have a chance to spam click and pick it up to save the group, as you can see here. For part 2 of the raid, we'll split our group into 2 sides, left side and right side. The job of the left side is to kill the adds from the 2 portals and carry the small balls that drop into the middle circle. Every 5 small orbs that you place, it spawns a giant orb downstairs for the right group. Now, you'll need to do this a minimum at least 9 times overall to complete this section of the raid, as there are 3 pillars in different sections of the room that require 3 orbs to be placed onto them. If you're not carrying the orbs on the right hand side, your job is to stop the mobs from hitting the carriers. You can either kill them or kite them, it's up to you. For the third part of the raid, we will still stay split into 2 groups, left and right, to kill 2 magic device towers that are stopping us from hitting the gate. Adds will spawn from the portals that you can just cleave onto the turret with. These are not a problem. The real difficulty of this section is trying not to get hit by the orbiting circle, as if anyone touches it, it will do a huge explosion of damage and make a circle of deadly fire around the turret. This will delay your time killing the turret, and you don't have much time in this phase. It's not meant to kill you, it's meant to make you run out of time. Now, when you kill both turrets, the gate will become vulnerable to attack. This is where you want to save your burst cooldowns to DPS. Usually on your first kill, it will take between 3 to 4 vulnerable phases to kill the gate. Now, after the second vulnerable phase, adds will start spawning in the middle of the room. That will stun and cause problems. We just chose 2 engineers to kite and keep them busy away from the groups. Congratulations, now you've finally reached the final test of the raid, the Witch. In terms of difficulty, the normal phases of this boss is very simple. She does 3 style of attacks that are easily dodgeable and a debuff that must be dropped outside of the raid. The real issue of this boss is actually from the time limit you get and from clearing the first intermission. So when the boss hits 2.8 billion HP, she will blink into the middle of the room and enter her first intermission. This is where she will activate 4 magma orbs, and your job as a raid is to clear them before she casts Annihilate, which 100% kills everyone in the room. Now, to do this, you must kill the adds that spawn around the room that drop blue orbs. These are used to slow the magma balls that are by the turret. Now, when you break the shield from a turret, it fires a straight line of blue fire that damages the magma orbs. These are the only way to damage them, so try to find a good mix of damage on the adds and the tower. Here you can see one of our players throwing the blue orb to slow the magma orb just in front of the turret, so that it can be hit multiple times. Now, if you've done this correctly, the boss will not cast Annihilate and you'll hit phase 2. Phase 2 is pretty much exactly the same as phase 1. The next intermission starts at 1.4 billion HP. The boss will disappear and summon a sun-like icon in the middle of the room. You'll need to wait to see where she casts a fireball, as this is important. You need to run to the next clockwise turret from where she casts. You want to DPS the turret and angle your character towards the next turret clockwise, as when you break the shield, the turret will throw you back to the next tower. Make sure when you get knocked to the next turret, you wait for all your team members to arrive before you start DPSing again. When you break the 4th tower, make sure you aim yourself towards the middle of the room, as this is where she'll place a giant safe zone for the final AoE. Now, if you've done this correctly, you have pretty much killed this boss. All that is left to do is DPS her down before the timer ends. So I just want to say congratulations. You have killed the new hardest content in NNK Cross Worlds. If you've liked this kind of style of content, remember to like, subscribe, and come follow me on Twitch, where I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.